everyone, welcome back to the vlogs. I've had a bit of a break recently. Two reasons. My wife has been very unwell and I haven't had as much time, mostly because we decided to get a dog. Originally we were just going to get a small dog like a Staffy or something, and then we ended up falling in love with this thing. He is basically a small horse, aren't you? Isaac, come. Yeah, he's a good boy. So he's pretty much destroyed my entire house. So we've now had to put locks on everything because he can open doors. It's like Jurassic Park, and he's ruined all the paint on my doors. He's basically just slowly destroying my house. We've also had to put towels up because long-time viewers will know I've got cats. And when we got him, it was said that he likes cats, but it turns out he hates cats. So we're slowly trying to introduce them, and he's taken up a lot of time. But we love him, don't we? Fully stupid. But anyway, this video, as you'll probably notice from the title, it's about something that we said we were never going to do. So let's go and have a look in the garage and see what we've got. So in the garage, you'll notice that I've had a bit of a tidy up, just to reorganise of stuff. And right here, we've got WISEFAB. Now you'll notice in the last video I said I'm not buying WISEFAB because I can't afford WISEFAB, and I still can't, but I got it anyway. So let's go to the thinking behind this. So I started making my own custom upper and lower arms, and I didn't have control of the welding on the aluminium bits because my welder doesn't do aluminium. And originally we started by just extending the ball joints and keeping all the geometry the same, but it cut the lower ball joint, so I had to make something, an adapter that goes on it using rose joints. And I don't know if you've ever done this, but you've started making something and you think, like, you know, you put a lot of thought into it and you think, yeah, this is going well, this is going where I want it to go, and then you have a bit of downtime and you start thinking, like, you know, I've made this and I've got no experience making it, and what if I go into a corner at like 80 miles an hour and my wheel falls off, and then it just creates loads of other problems. And I was just slowly losing confidence in it, and getting the geometry right was proving quite difficult. And also the original plan at the start of this year was to get as much seat time in as possible, but as I'm getting closer and closer to completion of the car, like, I'm very much running out of funds to be able to do that. So we've got a new goal. The new goal is to make the car good once, and then the only thing I've got to worry about is reliability of the engine, really. Everything else should be fine. So I took a jump, I got WISEFAB, and I know I don't have to worry about anything chassis wise, steering wise, and it just takes a big weight off my shoulders. So today we're going to go through fitting it. Now, I have no experience with WISEFAB, I've never even touched a kit before. It does come with instructions, which has got a really good explanation of Ackerman, which we'll go through that. But I'm not entirely sure if because the hubs are enormous, I'm not entirely sure if they'll fit in my 17s, because I've got 17-inch front wheels. But anyway, we'll worry about that when we come to it. So first step is wheel bearings, hubs, off my original ones. So I've taken these off this morning. For anyone who's never done this before, it's very, very simple. So here is your standard hub. This one's a bit modified, but all you do is get a screwdriver in here, knock this cover off, and it reveals this nut. And then this nut has a little kink in it where it's locked in a little joint. Let's show you that joint. It's pinched into this gap here. So all you do is whack a screwdriver in to flatten it back out a bit. Get your impact gun or a vice and a big bar, loosen it off, give the hub a tap, and off it comes. Now this has still got the ABS ring on. I don't know if I can take that off. I think I can, but I'm not really going to bother because I don't really care how it looks. That's fine. So all I'm going to do is get some brake cleaner in these bearings and then whack some more grease in, and then we'll go and put them on the new hubs. Okay, so now we've cleaned and re-greased the bearings, the wheel bearings. We're going to put them in the new hubs. So one at a time, we just pop this over here. There we are, there's one. Next one. Oh, that one was a bit easier. So, next, nuts. Now, in an ideal world, you'll replace these nuts and put new ones on. But mine aren't, I mean, they're zinc coated. Mine aren't rusty at all. So we're just going to pop them back in. Get the impact gun. And there we are. Two lovely functioning hubs. So what we'll do next is get these little dust covers. And a hammer. On to the next stage. Okay, next what we're going to do is fit the new lower arm. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosely assemble one complete side. Not tighten anything up, and just make sure everything fits where it should fit. So we're going to start with the lower arm, anti-roll bar, suspension, and then put the hub on with the upper arm. And see where we are fitment wise, because there's a couple of adjustments we can do to caliper location. I think they're designed to suit RX8 and RX7, so we need to make sure we've got those in the right space. So let's start with the lower arm. Right, now you'll notice on here there's 3 holes for the suspension strut. Now, the closer you go to the centre, the softer the suspension will be. Please don't ask me to explain that, because I don't really understand how. I think it's because of the increased angle. You'll see on like Formula 1 cars, they have very horizontal struts. It's something to do with the angle of compression, and I don't really know that. That's a little bit beyond me. But because we're using the anti-roll bar, we want to generate as much front grip as possible. I've decided to go all the way in, so as soft as possible. And then I can always try and stiffen the dampening on here, or it's a very simple change to move it further out if the front end's a bit too soft. I don't really have like a style set up. I'm not like slammed at the front. I edge a bit more towards function instead of form. So I don't really have to worry about a fitment on the front or anything. Plus they're fiberglass, so they'll just explode, so it's fine. So now that's in, let's have a look at getting the upper arm in. Now the upper arms, they might look straight and perfectly equal, but they're not. The shallower side, one leg is slightly longer than the other. So on an RX-7, the longer leg goes towards the back. So let's get these rose joints sorted out and get it put in. Right, upper and lower arm, suspension leg in, anti-roll bar on. Next, hub. Okay, on the lower arm where it mounts to the hub, there's a spacer. This goes on top here like this. So what I'm going to try and do is just line it up and then slot the spacer in. Okay, so, oh my god, that sticks out pretty far. Oh yeah, we're going to have what's known in the trade as a few fitment issues, I think. Okay. Right, next we've got to get these brake caliper in. So it looks like these are in the right places. So let's get rid of this. And then we've got to find some hardware for the brake caliper and get the disc on. Also, you'll notice this little guy here. This is your lock stop. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate this. You'll notice they've got little dimples on. So number 1 is maximum lock. And then it goes 2 and then 4 and then I can't count, and yeah, there you go. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this hub so that the face of number 1 hits the lower arm. There we are. And then we're going to tighten this guy up. Okay. Right. Brake disc and caliper next. First problem we've come across. This bracket that holds the hard line on the brake is hitting the new hub. So I think we're going to have to get rid of that. Okay, so my camera died, so while that was charging, I've done the other side. So now have 2 equal sides. And I have test fit one wheel on, and oh my god, we're going to have to do something with these wheel arches and make them a bit wider because we're showing some serious amount of tyre. So what I've done is I've got this front wheel so it's pretty much straight by eye. Now we don't have to be too accurate because where's the tie rod end? It's here somewhere. There's one. I'll put it on the hub. So this tie rod end has loads of adjustment. So what I did, I wound it all the way down, the tie rod, and put a bit of tape. So this is our full range of adjustment on the tie rod. So I know that I need to get full range in and out, that's how much space I need to leave on the tie rod. So what we're going to do next is put the rack in the centre. I've got a mark on the rack so I know where that is. And then we're going to line this up with the end of the tie rod. And we'll leave a little bit of leeway either side so that then we can shorten the tie rod and do the same on the other side and we should be all done. Now, I do actually have rack offset spacers on mine. This is a recent addition, and I don't know of anyone using rack offset spacers with WISEFAB, but in the instructions it does mention the Ackerman adjustment washers and how going one way helps with struggling with over center and things. So I still think over center could be a potential problem. So I'm going to go with the rack offset spacers because I've eyeballed it and it puts that in a nice space. So we're going to measure this up now, see where we need to cut, and get cutting. Alright, now that's done, we can remove the tape, which is not the easiest of things to do with gloves on. Now normally what I'd do, like I've done here, is leave a nut on, wind it down, not take it all the way off, but just use it to clean the threads a little. Here we are. Now that tie rod end should go on there perfectly fine. So we'll take this off, go and put it back on the car and whack the tie rod on. Okay, so that's both tie rods fitted, not measured up at all. We're going to do the toe once we get it down, but this is a nice moment. This is the first time the car's been on all four wheels in I don't know how long. So I'm going to fit the front wheels and then we'll get the car back on the floor and see what mess we're in. Ta-da! Okay, so let's have a little walk around. Guess at toe wasn't too bad. Wings definitely no longer fit. There we go. Now I can raise the front up a bit, but I don't know how much that's going to help us. If this thing will focus. The focus on this thing is atrocious. There you go. Yeah, they don't fit anymore. So we're going to have to figure something out there. But guess at toe was pretty good. I haven't tried steering angle yet because I can't turn the wheels, but we have a lot more camber this side than we do. Oh, actually no, it's about the same. Yeah, it's about the same. Right, so I'm gonna take the front wings off, and then we'll have a look at what lock we've got. Right, toe by eye looks okay. Actually scratch that. We've got loads of toe out on the driver's side and a good bit of toe out on the other side. But let's use that. So we're going to give it some full lock, give it the full beans. Let's see what we've got. Holy moly! That's a lot of lock. Holy crap. Right. That's a hell of a lot of lock. Are we in danger of hitting anything? Doesn't look like it. But suspension definitely needs to come up. Right, I've had a good look around. We've got plenty of room, chassis wise. This is a bit close here. So we're gonna have to raise it up a bit. So I'm gonna take it up maybe an inch or so. Yeah, you don't need to see that. I'm guessing you guys are beyond adjusting coilovers. So yeah, let's raise it up and see what we've got then. Okay, so for the past, I don't know, hour, I've had some lunch and stuff as well, but we've been doing some fiberglass surgery. Now, this is not a show car, it's a drift car. Every time I take it out, I'm prepared that it's going to get written off. So all I need is for this to fit a bit better. Please cover your eyes. So what we've done is I've pushed the wing out a little bit where it meets the door, like so. Now, yes, there's a gap, and no, I don't care about the gap. That's absolutely fine. I've also put a bar in under here which pushes this part of the wing out, and I'm going to get some better looking hardware because this is just, it looks a bit, plus it's dead sharp. But yeah, so that pushes the wing out. I'm not bothered about it fitting flush, I just need to be able to turn the wheel without it pulling the bodywork off. And now we can get full lock. That's not full lock, by the way. So yeah, what we're going to do is replicate that on the other side, and then we'll worry about the poke at the front another time. Look at that, that's crazy. So yeah, I'm going to get the other side done, and then we'll get the frame and the front bumper on and see how it looks. But I think I'm definitely going to have to wide body the rear, because this is just going to look silly now. But so far, awesome balls, love it. Okay, so I did the other side and I got the frame on. You've seen me do that 1,000 times, so there's no need to cover that. I got the front bumper back on, and we had to make some more cuts. So what I did is did the some adjustments to the lower arm, maximum both ways. So it threw the hub forward and backward, and I've made enough clearance to cover both extremes. So, because I'm not going to be setting caster or anything here, that'll be done when I go to A-line for alignment. So I had to chop the lower wing out here, but it doesn't look too bad actually. It looks okay. I'm not fussed about that. That's fine. The other wing is exactly the same, and I've got full clearance. The only thing I'm slightly concerned about is this here, because there's a little bit of a lip inside here, so that's got to come off, and we might have to raise the car slightly. It's already quite high, but it's nice and level chassis wise, but it's if I'm on inner lock and the suspension compresses, then I'm going to just be pulling this wing off, so I need to do something about that. But yeah, bumper fits, wings fits, I can just about open the doors. Again, it's not a show car, I'm not really that fussed, but it's still got to look cool. Otherwise, you know, I'm going to be embarrassed to drive it. But yeah, so that is WISEFAB on. So we did come across a couple of other problems which I haven't mentioned yet. So because I've got my front wheels balanced, there's weights on the inner lip here, and mine is 17-inch, and I think this is as tight as it's ever gonna get. That is very, very close. So this bolt that goes through the tie rod end, I had to flip it the other way around, so the nut was at the bottom and the bolt head was at the top, but the bolt head's slimmer, so I had to put that on the bottom. And yeah, it clears everything fine, it clears normal weights. I've only got one on each side, I think. So yeah, that's about it. I've got to be honest, like when I was making WISEFAB, I never would have got this at all. And the wheels stand perfectly upright on full lock. I haven't got that much camber yet. So it's just, well, I was going to say it's worth the money, but it's a hell of a lot of money. But I never have to worry about it again. It's incredible. I can't believe how much lock I've got. Yes, the front stance looks stupid, but I don't know. I might be able to come up with some little flares or something that like start here and come out a little bit and cover the front. But if I'm going to be honest, I'm not really bothered. It looks kind of cool, a bit crazy, which is the look I'm going for. But the front massively dwarfs the rear now, so I'm gonna have to go wider on the rear. So what's the plans next? I've got a couple of projects to do. I owe Column from Garage Reg some LED tail lights. Now I used to make these a long time ago, helped pay towards my wedding. And I promised Colin I'd make him some, and I'm going to, because he's been an awesome help, so I'm going to do that for him. So what I might do is a bit of a tutorial on how to make your own LED tail lights. That could be a good one next, because the only other thing I've got left is the wiring, and that's going to be a very long series, and I don't really know how to do this. I don't think there's any point me doing a how-to. One, because I don't know what I'm doing, and two, there's probably very few people that are doing my setup, so it's not really going to correlate to anyone else. So I think I'll just document it. I've got a little bit of the exhaust left to do. I'm going to wide body the rear. There's so many videos on YouTube on how to wide body, but again, I'll probably just document that. And yeah, I don't think we're going to get any, if many, drift days in this year, even though it's only March. Purely down to funds now. I have nothing. In fact, I have so little there's a minus in front of it, because of WISEFAB. But it's awesome. So yeah, sorry for the break-in videos. Again, dog nightmare, absolute prick, but I love him. And my wife has been really unwell, and so I've been spending a lot of time doing that. And I have a full-time job, and it's not like a piece of piss kind of job. So yeah, thanks for watching, and subscribe if you don't already subscribe, because my views are like way low and I want to try and get this channel bigger, but I know I've got to put out more videos. So yeah, thanks guys, see you later.